going on, guys? So it's been a little bit. I decided to switch camera systems, and then as soon as I went to go switch to a new camera, the camera I was going to buy went out of stock. In my last video, I switched out the old turbo for the stock TD04, and I was talking about tuning the car. As I was waiting for my camera, I've been thinking about it for a little bit, and I'd rather just spend the money once to tune it, and there's some other things that I have planned on doing to the car that would also need a tune, such as like an exhaust, because that's the only other thing engine-wise or like performance-wise that will need another tune until I go with a slightly bigger turbo. But yeah, so I figured I'll go ahead and do that before getting the tune, so that way I'm not wasting any money retuning it as soon as I get the exhaust done. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. So all that means is it'll push the tune back a little bit. But that being said, first things first, I definitely need coffee, and then we'll get started on the WRX. It's been sitting for a while, so this thing is absolutely filthy. So now that the WRX is all clean, I can go ahead and install what I came here to install, which is something I think is pretty cool. This Fumoto oil drain adapter. Basically what this is it replaces the oil drain plug of your car. It's a cool little thing that kind of make oil changes even easier than they already are. There's a little ball bearing in here. Flip this lever and turn it, and then you can drain your oil. What's also really cool about this is it has a little nipple on the end so that you can stick one of these guys on there, and you can throw a tube on the end. And that's really cool and convenient because if you keep your old oil cans or containers, you can go ahead and just drain straight into the old oil can. So that's what we're gonna go ahead and do. I'm gonna go ahead and jack the car up, give it an oil change, swap the plugs. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing jacked up, basically to show you how easy it is to throw this thing on. You're gonna need a 17mm socket to get the stock drain plug out, and then to get the Fumoto valve in, they recommend using a crescent wrench. The oil that I drained out was super clean. It didn't look black or anything, which it shouldn't because the car hasn't really been driven. The valve comes with its own little washer that just goes around the end here, and then we just gotta throw this guy in where the oil drain plug was. There it is, that's all there is to it. You can take this hose with the adapter and just snap it right on there like that, and then you can run this hose and run it down into a empty oil container or whatever you want to use. Of course you can just like drain it straight out of here, it'll just squirt out. They also have a 90-degree adapter, so if you are just going straight down, you could honestly put that 90-degree on there and then just put something underneath like the oil pan, and that way it'll just go straight down. So now I just need to fill it back up with oil, just double check that nothing's leaking, and we're good to go. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and let it warm up and just cycle all the oil in it and then double check the oil, make sure I put enough in there. But that's it for today's video. It's super easy to install. It's a really cool mod, and it isn't very expensive either. I think the valve costs about like 40 bucks. And now oil changes from here on out will be super easy. I would say mess free, but because of where the oil filter is, every time you take off the oil filter, you're always gonna get oil on your hand. But yeah, like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and just let it run, warm up, and I'll double check the oil. But that's it for today, guys. See you in the next one.